Power. Everyone wants it, but few understand what it really is. You see, power doesn't come from money or muscles or loud voices. Power comes from the mind, the quiet, calculating, self-disciplined mind that observes what others can't. They say power corrupts, but that's a lie. Power doesn't corrupt, it reveals. It shows what you truly are beneath the mask. Most people spend their lives begging to be liked, accepted, and validated. The Machiavellian doesn't beg. He observes, he adapts, and he moves in silence. Because in a world of noise, the one who stays calm becomes the commander of chaos. This is not about evil. This is about mastery, mastering yourself, mastering others, mastering perception. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop being controlled and start becoming the controller? Niccolò Machiavelli, often misunderstood, often labeled as manipulative, was, in truth, a student of reality. He didn't dream of a perfect world. He studied how power actually moves, through perception, control, and awareness. The Machiavellian mindset is built on one principle. The world runs on power, not fairness. This mindset is not cynical, it's strategic. While others waste energy complaining about what's unfair, the Machiavellian studies what's effective. The weak say, that's not right. The wise say, that's how it works. To think like Machiavelli is to see beyond emotion, to detach from illusion, to realize that truth is not always moral, and morality is not always truth. The Machiavellian understands that life is a game of perception. People don't see reality. They see what they're conditioned to believe. Control perception, and you control their decisions. Control their emotions, and you control their loyalty. But before mastering others, you must master your own emotions. A Machiavellian never reacts impulsively. He doesn't fight every battle. He chooses which battles are worth his energy. He knows that silence can be more powerful than words. Detach, observe, strategize, because your first battlefield is your mind. Every empire, every business, every relationship runs on one currency: psychology. People like to believe they're logical, but they're not. They're driven by four primal forces. 1. The need for validation. They crave attention because it feels like existence. If no one sees me, do I even matter? 2. The fear of rejection. Humans fear isolation more than death itself. They conform, obey, and hide their truth just to fit in. 3. The desire for control. Everyone wants to feel in charge, even when they're being controlled. 4. The hunger for significance. Every post, every purchase, every lie comes from the need to feel important. The Machiavellian mind doesn't mock these weaknesses. He studies them. He knows that when emotions rise, logic dies. And in that emotional fog, that's where control is lost. Example? Think of an argument. The one who shouts louder feels powerful, but the one who stays silent holds the real power. Because silence creates discomfort. Discomfort creates curiosity. Curiosity gives you control. When you understand human weakness, you gain the ability to predict behavior. You start to see patterns others can't. You stop reacting to manipulation and start decoding it. You stop fearing rejection because you see it as emotional leverage. You stop chasing significance because your value no longer depends on approval. This is the first true layer of dark psychology mastery. Understanding the invisible forces that move people while staying unmoved yourself. The art of controlled influence. Influence isn't about control, it's about direction. It's not about domination, it's about subtle guidance. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But the modern Machiavellian doesn't use fear, he uses awareness. He knows how to lead people not by pushing them, but by pulling them toward what they already want. Let's break it down into 3 laws. Law 1. Say less than necessary. Silence is magnetic. The less you reveal, the more power you project. People fear the unknown, and that fear becomes respect. Speak rarely, but when you do, speak with precision. Law 2. Observe reactions, not words. People's faces tell the truth before their mouths do. Watch the micro-expressions: a flicker of discomfort, a forced smile, a glance away. The body speaks the language of truth. Law 3. Give people the illusion of choice. Don't force outcomes, design environments where people choose what you already intended. The best influence is invisible. The puppet never sees the strings. True Machiavellian power is subtle. It's not dominance, it's directional intelligence. You don't overpower people, you guide them, like a chess master directing the board. Influence is not evil when it's conscious. It becomes manipulation only when used without purpose. The key is control of others, yes, but especially of yourself. Rewiring your mind for power. Before you can influence the world, you must dominate the one thing no one else can, your own mind. Power is built on internal stability. Chaos inside you creates chaos around you. To rewire your mind for power, follow the 3 inner disciplines. 1. Emotional control. Every reaction gives someone else your power. When you learn to sit in discomfort without reacting, you rise above the game. Remember, the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest. 2. Mental clarity. Journal your thoughts. Reflect on your motives. Ask yourself daily, why do I want this? Is it ego or purpose? Clarity turns confusion into command. 3. Strategic thinking. Don't move without a reason. Before every decision, pause and ask, what's the outcome I want, and how do I get it with minimum exposure? This is how the Machiavellian mind functions, not impulsively, but intentionally. Every move calculated, every word measured, every emotion filtered. Most people live as pawns ruled by impulses, fears, and opinions. But the Machiavellian? He's not a pawn. He's the player. He doesn't seek to destroy, he seeks to understand. He doesn't chase respect, he earns it through mastery of self. Power is not about conquering others. It's about conquering your own mind, your emotions, your reactions, your chaos. And once you do that, you no longer need validation. You no longer need to prove anything. You simply are power. This is the essence of dark psychology mastery, not evil, not manipulation, but awareness so deep that you can see the strings of the world and decide how to pull them. The world is a game of perception. Rewire your mind. Command your world.